What's up, guys? I'm your host, Justin, and thank you for listening to Pro Football Entertainment. How's it going, Cameron?
Okay.
How you doing?
Good.
Doing
What's
good?
going on, everybody?
Not too much. Thank you for tuning in to Pro Football Entertainment. We're excited and ready to get on with today's episode of PFE for you. We think we got some. I know we got some good content for us, and we know it's been a little bit. We had a little vacation time away from the show, and now we're refreshed and ready to get back into this wild playoff run.
Yeah,
NFL.
last week wasn't a good week of football anyway.
Yeah.
Week before.
This weekend was
I
wild.
was gonna say not this past weekend, the weekend before.
You saw on my Twitter, I definitely let the fans know that it's going to be a good episode today. I was all over Twitter this week.
I know, get some interactions.
Yeah,
Is that guy we were talking to? Is that somebody you know?
No.
Or just a random?
Oh, that guy? Yeah, we do. He
Okay.
listens to our show.
Sorry.
But all the rest are random people just commenting on our stuff. So it's good. It's good feedback that we're getting some time
Positive,
out there. Positive feedback. So what do you want to talk about first?
Well, I figured we could
Cowboys loss? That's what I
don't know
want to
that
talk
we
about.
need to
I was kind of
open-
fishing for that.
I don't know
we're
that we need to
opening with
open the
that.
show with that.
We're
I mean,
we're opening it.
you could have predicted it. I mean, everybody did. Basically, the whole world was on Jags +4 going into the game, and even, I mean, honestly, look, the Cowboys were up 27-10, and then Dak throws a pick, and it just the wheels fall off. And unfortunately, that's become a weekly trend with Dak Prescott. Is
The
he
wheels
throws
fall off.
He just throws one really bad pick a game,
Mm-hmm.
and in recent weeks, they've been able to overcome it. The defense was able to pick them up against Indianapolis. And then last week, I don't know, I'm blanking on who we played the week before. But then,
Y'all played the Texans.
right, yes.
And they almost
Texans.
upset y'all,
yeah,
too.
golly. But, and to Dak, talking about that, to Dak's credit in that Texans game, when they needed a drive in the fourth, they had a game-winning drive. But Sunday, man, I mean, he had a really good game aside from, I think, that one pick. Obviously, people were, and you were, I know you were being tongue in cheek, blaming him for the overtime pick.
I was.
That's not his fault. That's not Dak's fault. He's rolling out of the pocket to his left, making it an across the body throw.
Well,
That's not on the quarterback.
I just like blaming Dak for everything.
Yeah, I know, and it's fair. He's an easy target right now. He's got 11 picks. Was that going into the week? Or was that going in? Yeah, that was going into the game.
He has 13, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and it's not good. This is not something that has been Dak's MO. Like, he usually doesn't throw that many interceptions. Now, I can say, like, I feel like in the past he's had a lot where he's gotten away with some throws where DBs were just missing them. you know. But this year, it's like his bad picks are just going right to the defender's chest. It's
And
like,
y'all,
what are you
and
doing?
I know you said in the past episodes that you think it's his receiver's fault. Do you still think that?
Well, for sure. I mean, it's CeeDee Lamb and it's who, right? It's nobody.
It should be Michael Gallup, but
Michael Gallup.
They forgot who that guy was.
He needs to play better, no doubt. I'm gonna give him a small pass because he did tear his ACL. I mean, we're coming up on a year ago. That was in late December. We were at that game. It was the Cardinals game when he tore his ACL.
that's true.
And was that late December or was that early?
It was this
early
week.
January.
It was the day after Christmas or New Year's.
Okay.
Day after New Year's.
Yeah. So, I mean, coming up on a full year since he tore his ACL. So it takes some time for guys to get back into it. I think he had like 2 targets the other day.
Yeah.
So it's like Dak's not targeting him, but CeeDee Lamb can get open. He's getting separation. No other receiver on the Cowboys roster is getting separation right now. And if you even look like big downs, teams are double teaming CeeDee Lamb. They're not allowing him in overtime and on that third down play. CeeDee Lamb, I believe, had 3 guys like just watching him.
Really?
So it's like they're forcing Dak to go to like Noah Brown or
Which Noah
Michael
Brown,
Gallup, where they have him.
I think potentially could be a league winner in fantasy. if you had him last week.
Oh well, yeah.
Like, yeah.
I mean, he's putting up numbers.
Yeah.
But come on. He's in his 6th year, I think. In first 5 years, he's been a blocking receiver.
Yeah.
Like that. Now that we've had nearly a full season to analyze it, the Amari Cooper trade was bad.
Well,
that's bad.
I told you that.
They've gotten away with it for the majority of the year. I mean, they're sitting at 10.
Also, it doesn't correlate with me why they got rid of Cedric Wilson either.
Well, I wouldn't say they got rid of Cedric Wilson. I would say Miami overpaid for Cedric Wilson. I believe he's getting $11 million a year.
And I think he's caught one pass.
And because they went and traded, I think, did they sign him before they traded for Tyreek Hill?
They did.
Yeah, and so it's like you go and get Tyreek Hill, and it's like, oh, we don't really necessarily need Cedric. Now, Cedric Wilson's a great third, fourth receiver. I really do wish the Cowboys had him because him and Dak had a good rapport. But like I said, getting rid of Amari Cooper, only getting a 5th round, it's just bad. You saved yourself $20 million on the cap, but you're also $20 million under the cap right now. You have money to spend. You could have spent it. So
no, that's 100% true.
It is frustrating. Like I said, all year it really hasn't been too bad. I think here, coming down the stretch, and especially in the playoffs, is when you're going to really notice. CeeDee Lamb, I think, has proven that he's a number 1 receiver. You can admit that, right? Just got announced to the Pro Bowl roster. That that's not the end all be all, but yeah, I think CeeDee Lamb's proven himself as a number 1 now. He still has his lapses, but you can't win in the playoffs without multiple good receivers.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't. The CeeDee Lamb thing, he's a stud.
I mean, he's consistently having 100 yards games.
Double covered.
Yeah.
Makes no sense how Dallas can't find someone else. That's what blows my mind about Gallup. He has to be open every time.
I haven't been looking.
I haven't watched a lot of film on Dallas, but
I would imagine he's not getting the separation he has had in the past because he's not having that initial explosiveness coming off of a torn ACL. But the second thing is, Dak and Gallup he's the 50-50 ball receiver on the team. And he was getting 1-2 a game. And this year it's
nothing.
Never. And so it is a little weird. Maybe that's on Kellen Moore. Maybe that's on, they've become more of a running team. Maybe that has to do with it. So it's just.
It screwed me in fantasy.
Everybody's talking like this. The sky's not falling for the Cowboys, but.
Big fat goose egg.
They might not win a playoff game.
Yeah.
Which sucks after the good year they've had.
They might lose to Gardner Minshew.
I've seen Gardner Minshew play. I love the guy.
Minshew magic.
I love his charisma. I like everything about him until he steps on the football field and you're like, oh, this is why you're a backup.
Drew Lock.
He don't even put him on the same breath as Drew Lock. He's way better than Drew Lock.
I love me some Drew Lock.
But it's the same thing as you watch. We're seeing Colt McCoy play. Any of these they're backups for a reason. Now, in a one-game scenario, Gardner Minshew could very well, play well.
Especially against the Cowboys. Davis Mills tore him apart.
Yeah, that defense is...
I thought y'all's defense was good.
The secondary is depleted. We've lost 2 starting corners to season-ending injuries. And then now, you got Kelvin Joseph, who is a second-year...
He gets burnt every play.
Literally, teams were...
That's number 1, right?
Yeah. Teams are just targeting him now. And they even, when the broadcasters are openly saying
they came out and said this week on the radio that spot's pretty much wide open.
Yeah. It's
on the roster.
He has no... God, the dude was involved in a murder case in the offseason.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and then
what?
And then he's not.
Are you kidding me?
Oh yeah, you didn't hear about that?
I might have. I might not remember. It doesn't ring a bell.
He was in the vehicle with it was him and there was 3 guys in the car or something. 2 of the guys went out, shot a dude dead.
That's right. Okay, now I remember.
That, right? And I think he got out of it
by
saying
the car.
He wasn't, in the plan. He was just there. He's I didn't know that they were going to kill somebody. So
he's still a witness to murder.
Did
he turn the guys in?
I can't remember, honestly. I just remember him getting out of it, and it was something he wasn't in the car, or he just knew. Maybe they did.
That's crazy.
I don't know. But then, when you go out there and you're just getting burnt on the field, it's all right, this dude ain't worth it. This dude's awful.
Maybe he's better at shooting people.
Maybe.
Yeah, so I had to start off the show with the Cowboys.
Well,
Big Cowboys show.
yeah, I know. And it's like everything you watch, it's like, oh, why are we always talking about the Cowboys? And then here we are.
The next story I have is kind of what ruined my whole week, to be honest with you. Not really ruined my week.
Justin Herbert,
no,
baby.
No, not even that.
Oh, man.
That's later on for the show. The Packers won, so they didn't ruin my whole week. But, no.
Well, it ruined your draft pick.
I lost in fantasy because of the refs screwing over the Washington Commanders. You know that, right?
That's wild.
So Brian Robinson scored a touchdown. I lost by 5 points.
I know. I mean, hey, look, you have a problem, and I think you need to admit it on air.
What?
That you have a problem.
With problem
fantasy,
with what?
like, with fantasy football, you have an addiction.
I like competing.
You need to get sent to rehab.
I don't know what to do without fantasy football for 6 months.
Are you still in the playoffs?
No, I'm out because of Ryan Robinson and Justin Herbert.
Dang, dude, I'm sitting in the championship in one league, and then I'm the number 2 seed in another league.
Yeah,
I was on a bye.
You must not have Herbert because no one who had Herbert won.
I have Herbert.
In our
8-team league. I know.
And the quarterback doesn't matter.
True.
I
did almost lose. He only put up 8 points.
I have him in super flex leagues, and he got 13 points.
And
I lost by 6 points. Lost by 5 points. When Brian Robinson's touchdown, I don't know what those refs were thinking.
Yeah, so
he literally pointed at him, gave a thumbs up, and then threw a flag.
I do wonder because everyone is.
That's like a known respect.
Yeah, everyone is like talking about it, and Terry McLaurin is out and saying he told me I was good.
It's
rigged.
I wonder. Have you seen the spreads this year? They're just all over the place.
Plus, if you look at the replay, like the ref is just sitting there like fiddling for his flag, just ready to throw it. But I wonder because he very clearly was not on the line. It was like he very clearly was a full yard off. I wonder if the ref told him to scoot up.
He did. He moved up. If you watch the video, he moved up.
I know, but he moved up like an inch.
I don't know.
I'm not defending it.
I think that ref should definitely get investigated.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think it is still BS. You shouldn't call that. It
has
no
nothing
effect
to do
on
with
the play. But I'm just like, if you could play devil's advocate, he moved up like an inch.
Yeah.
Like he barely moved up. And now as a receiver, you're really not, like, it's hard to tell, obviously. But, I mean, that ref was just, I think
we might have a case of the NBAs in the 80s.
Ooh, maybe. Because on the 4th down play, did you see, who did he throw?
Yeah.
Was it Dodson?
Curtis Samuel.
Was
getting hugged.
Mugged in the end zone. Absolutely mugged, and they didn't throw a flag.
I'm telling you, that game needs to get investigated, and they should give my points back in fantasy, and I was livid.
I mean, it's that, and it's the roughing the passer calls.
Yeah, everything.
It's bad. It's at a bad place.
The leading into that, tell me how the Vikings come back. Not only do they come back, but they still don't cover. So +3 won.
Right. Well, because they were down 33.
How are you supposed to make that work?
I mean, look, that is as fishy as it gets.
Like they got the money line because that's where the money was, but people who actually bet on the
no, because I would argue
everybody bet the money line.
Yeah, Vikings money line.
Yes, and so
it pays out.
No, okay, so it's opposite.
But you're saying the people who bet on Vikings -4 lost that, but the money line hit.
Yeah.
Right.
So no, that's what I mean. My bad. I got the mixed up.
Right.
The money was on the spread because the money line was outrageous. It was like +5.
I would have bet. I thought I was going to give the advice that people should bet Vikings -4. They're playing the freaking Colts.
But tell me how that's possible.
It is like
because no one bet that money line.
Well,
that money line was ridiculous.
When you put it that way, it becomes weird.
Yeah.
But when you put it from the perspective of when a team is down 33 points in the NFL, something that has no comeback has ever been
besides
that
Matt
big.
Ryan.
Like they have you can't rig it when it's 33 points. You cannot rig a 33-point lead.
A quarterback can. Twice in his career.
Oh, stop. Super Bowl? Come on.
I make lots of money.
Dude, no.
You win more money rigging a Super Bowl than you do.
I don't care. The amount of money that they make.
It probably was the same guy.
The amount of money that they
He waited 3 years to blow the same lead.
Playing quarterback in the NFL just to make a little
he
bit
obviously,
more. Losing a Super Bowl?
Yeah, but he's washed, for one. You know I love theories. He's washed.
Mm-hmm.
2, you got to make that bread for the next 40 years of your life.
He's set for life, Justin. I guarantee he's made over $100 million in his career.
That doesn't matter. Yeah, from the Super Bowl.
No, in salary,
But he's
not to mention endorsement.
he knows he ain't getting another job after this. So that same guy who came to him for the Super Bowl,
he's old.
said, "Hey Matt, can you do it again?"
What? Get up 33 points and blow it? That's
It's just awkward how it's the same quarterback.
Well, it's not like
I think we have a little longest yard on our hands.
Well, I was gonna say, I mean, in the Vikings game,
what was the guy's quarterback's name from longest yard?
Oh gosh, I mean, it's dang,
Lame.
No,
Adam Sandler.
Well, yeah, Adam Sandler.
He's coming to D-Town in February too.
Adam Sandler?
Yeah, for stand-up.
Comedy? Oh,
yeah.
He's still doing stand-up?
Yeah,
Okay.
he's doing a tour this year.
I love Adam Sandler. But, I mean, it's not like it was Matt Ryan's fault that they blew the 33-point
I know. It's just, what are the odds it's the same
in the
quarterback?
Super Bowl, he only had one turnover in the Patriots comeback. So it's like both of the times, he just faced an avalanche of an offense against a bad defense, you know? Well, the Falcons weren't a bad defense, but the Colts are a bad defense right now.
No.
And the Vikings have a really good offense. It's wild.
It's fishy.
33 points should not happen. What's actually funny was I was watching the game and my dad was like, "Man, he literally said like, because did they have a graphic that said like biggest comeback in NFL history is 32, like long before the Vikings ever started coming back. I think they put a graphic on the screen and my dad said something like, what are the odds that happens? I go, well, it's never happened, so I'd say impossible. Those words came out of my mouth.
Yeah.
And then Vikings come back and win.
Well, that leads into a lot of stuff in our friendship group.
Is that my ultimate genes right there? Like, my goodness, I can't believe it.
Yeah, I don't know. We do got the Stars playing right now. It's 0-0. That's probably our next avenue.
Hockey?
I wouldn't be involved in it.
I was going to say, we cannot talk hockey.
But just like cave chatter in general, the business.
Okay.
I want to have a hockey podcast.
Hockey. Oh, I would love
Get some hockey guys.
I love hockey.
I would sit in on it.
I just know, I know the rules of hockey. I do not know how to.
No, my big vision is to have all sports. But I don't want to do all sports. I want to have you got to have guys that.
Yeah, step in for a show every now and then.
Yeah, I just want to do like Dave Portnoy.
Yeah.
Portnoy?
Portnoy? Yeah.
I just want to step into your show one day when you're the only guy on here with another guy, and I just be like, "What's up?"
You stepping in with guys?
I can just walk on the show and fire people on the show and stuff like that.
No, that's not a place you want to be.
He does it.
I know, but
it's wild.
I don't necessarily think that.
But it is cool that
I don't necessarily think they're the business
No, they're not the most moral
model. Yes.
Yeah, no.
They're not the moral.
Well, I would never fire someone on live. If it was pre-recorded, maybe, because Stars scored.
Scored.
Go Stars. Next story we got is Pro Bowl.
Pro Bowl rosters came out today.
They did.
You still have it pulled up?
I have the AFC roster. I'll let you start with the NFC roster.
All right, NFC roster.
We're not going to spend a lot of time on this because the Pro Bowl is kind of pointless. But we'll read the rosters off, have our opinions.
It's pretty. I do like how they're changing
no more Pro Bowl
game,
yeah,
which is fantastic. Everyone hated the game.
Which they should do the same thing in basketball.
Well, see, basketball they actually did a good thing where the fourth quarter, or it's like because they do it, they play for charity now.
Every basket.
So at the end of every quarter, the winning team gets money towards a charity.
Oh, that's
in the fourth quarter, it's like a big pile of money, right? And then so in the fourth quarter, they're actually starting to play defense.
I do want to go to a slam dunk contest one year.
I was gonna say we got MLB All-Star Game coming here next year. Mm-hmm. That's something we need to go
home
to.
Run Derby.
I don't know that I would want to. Would I rather see the home run derby or the actual game? I think I would actually see that. Baseball has the best All-Star game.
I'd rather go to the celebrity softball game.
Well, I guarantee that's like free ticket. I guarantee it's just walk-ins.
Yeah.
Because I watch those on TV and there's
so
nobody
much fun to
in
watch.
the stands. But I do. And it's always like a condensed game. So you
Yeah.
can see I want to watch the whole thing.
Yeah.
That's a good point. But
they should definitely change it to wiffle ball, though.
Oh, no.
How much fun that'd be.
Oh, it'd be awful. In an outdoor atmosphere, nobody would be able to hit the ball. They'd be hitting each other. That'd be terrible.
Blitz ball.
Which one is that?
The heavier ball. And it does all the sliders. The blitz ball leagues. Have you seen those?
Yeah, well, they're on TikTok.
Filthy, dude.
Right?
Yeah.
They're all over TikTok. They have like a lot. Or at least they used to. I don't know.
They still do.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's huge. So, yeah, Pro Bowl.
Anyway, yeah. So
NFC team, go for it.
NFC team quarterbacks are, one of them is obvious. Jalen Hurts was the
Best quarterback in the league.
best quarterback in the NFC.
The truth.
Right.
The system.
Hey, I just said that.
It's actually the system because that's the coolest nickname ever.
Oh, no.
The system.
Who's calling him that?
It's all over Twitter.
Oh, crap. You know why?
Because they called him a system quarterback.
Because Micah Parsons did.
But now the system, that's a sick nickname.
Freaking side note. Micah Parsons, you idiot. What are you doing? How stupid are you saying Jalen Hurts is not
Did you see me troll him on Twitter?
Who, Micah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure he saw it too.
No, he wasn't in it. But they're saying all his stats. And it was 6 sacks, ball against the Jags. And I said, yeah, in one loss. It was pretty funny.
He finally played good. He had a few bad weeks. He actually had.
I just thought it was funny they were listing all these stats, and I was like,
well, he actually had the second most pressures on the entire season.
Gave up 40 points to the Jaguars. What?
It wasn't his fault. Anyway, Jalen Hurts is a starting quarterback. Well deserved. I've come around on Jalen Hurts. I've turned a new leaf on life, and I'm going to start being nice to players and give them credit and stop using my biases against them. Jalen Hurts is now a good quarterback. Potentially even a potential great quarterback. So, Jalen Hurts.
Can you say that again?
No, I'm not saying it again. And then we have Geno Smith and Kirk Cousins. I think that's pretty crazy. Just for Jared Goff is my big snub there. I think Jared Goff deserves it, man. Jared Goff has had such a underrated season. The Detroit Lions are a 500 football team in week 15.
Yeah.
Jared Goff deserves credit. Geno Smith started out hot. He's faded out the last couple weeks. I would have given Jared Goff.
Faded out a lot.
I would have given Jared Goff some love there. But we're not going to spend all the time on that.
Jared Goff might have redeemed himself in Detroit.
Well, funny enough, they were, to be fair, they were 1-6 at one point. So there was reason to be pessimistic. And all year they were saying, because they have the Rams first round pick and their own first round pick because of the Matthew Stafford trade. And so, excuse me.
Luka finished with 44, by the way.
Close. So all year it's been hey, they thought it was going to be their pick that was going to be very high. It's they're going to have to take a quarterback. Now with how bad the Rams are, the Rams pick is going to be top 10, potentially top 5, and they're not even going to own it. They got to send it to the Lions. I don't think they take a quarterback high anymore because of how Jared Goff.
They shouldn't. You know who they should take? A running back.
Don't say Bijan Robinson. Well, I mean,
100%.
Obviously, but
100%. Get rid of Swift. What
year
is he on?
No, and don't even get me started on DeAndre Swift. He needs to leave Detroit. And I know I've said it before. I like Dan Campbell as a head coach of a team. I think he's really good. But
good head coach. Good head coach.
It's inexcusable what they're doing to DeAndre Swift there.
He's hurt.
And he is not hurt. When he is, watch the games, dude. When he is out there, he is still explosive. And they did it on Hard Knocks. And the reason you can tell why they hate him, he very much does the East-West thing. He's very shifty instead of getting north and south.
Yeah.
And Dan Campbell just hates that. That's why Jamal Williams gets all the touches there. Jamal Williams is just a north and south guy. I like Jamal Williams, but come on. DeAndre Swift is a game breaker. It is inexcusable that he's getting less than 10 touches a game.
Yeah.
It's inexcusable. And that's a side note. And then we went just down the rabbit hole. So back to what we were talking about. Jalen Hurts, Geno Smith, Kirk Cousins, those are your quarterbacks. Tight ends, George Kittle and TJ Hawkinson. Really, tight ends haven't wowed anybody this year. Wide receivers, this is honestly really interesting. Justin Jefferson, A.J. Brown, CeeDee Lamb, and Terry McLaurin. I don't think any of them are over 25 years old.
They're not. Scary Terry's 23.
CeeDee's 23. I think A.J. Brown's 24, 25, and Justin Jefferson's around
20.
Two of them at least were in the same draft class, and I think Terry McLaurin and A.J. Brown were. So I really four very deserving. Terry McLaurin was an interesting one. He really
had a good year.
He's had a good year.
Like I said, the fans vote for this.
Yeah.
Majority of it.
Part fans, coaches, players.
Yeah.
He's had a good year. But obviously I mean, it's the NFC, so like the locks were Justin Jefferson and A.J. Brown. CD was a 3/4 lock. You know, it's not like he was a full lock, but and then I was a little surprised by Terry McLaurin. Tyler Lockett's had a really good year.
Mm-hmm. The year I get rid of him in fantasy.
Yeah, yep. So that's a guy who could have been there. A.J. Brown, like I said, Justin Jefferson is 300-something yards away from breaking the all-time record.
Yes.
He's got 3 games good to go.
He should have broke it last game.
The only thing I wonder is if he's going to play in that Week 18. Because they already have the division locked up. Minnesota does. And they're not going to be playing for the number 1 seed because Philly, after they win one of their last 3 games, will have it locked up. So I am curious if Justin Jefferson plays in Week 18. Because they're going to have wild card round is the very next week.
I think he will.
It'd be interesting.
He's not a
Obviously,
quarterback.
they will have to have had the 2 seed locked up. But who do they play? Let me see. Minnesota. They play Vegas. No, that can't be right. I'm on the wrong
Minnesota?
one. They play Giants at Green Bay at Chicago.
I think Green Bay might upset them. We own the Vikings.
Well, they might not be playing. If they beat the Giants this weekend, I'm pretty sure they have the 2 seed locked up.
Yeah, which
Don't
that's good
quote me
for
on
us.
that.
We have
Right.
to win out.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think I feel like Justin Jefferson has to get it in the next 2 weeks. Otherwise, he might not play Week 18.
I can see that.
Which
I
guess would make it fair because now it's a 17-game season, and if you only play 16 games and then break it then you can't have any arguments, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Justin Jefferson, A.J. Brown. I mean, what's more to say about A.J. Brown?
He's a monster
With
the system.
He has unlocked Jalen Hurts, no doubt, 100%. He is such a perfect match for A.J.
I love watching them play football.
Like I said, I'm coming around on it.
I love watching them play football.
I'm going to give players their props. A.J. Brown's a freaking monster. I mean, I've always said good things about A.J. Brown, right?
Yeah.
I've never said anything bad about him.
Well, I think you have said that he is overrated before on the show.
Don't quote me on that.
I'm not going to quote you on it.
Don't quote me on that, please.
I think you have.
I don't think so.
Maybe not overrated, but maybe like overhyped.
He was in our top 10.
Is there a difference between that? Overhyped and overrated? Like maybe talked about too much? Kind of like Herbert, social media quarterback.
Okay, you're not baiting me. You're not going to do it. So yeah, and then I mean we're not going to go tackles, guards. You don't care about linemen. Running backs is an interesting one. Saquon, yeah. Tony Pollard, I was shocked. Tony Pollard,
he deserves it.
He deserves it 100%. I was just surprised that they did it because he is in a split 50-50 backfield.
What's his stat line this year? Does he have 1,000? He obviously has 1,000 yards rushing, right? Is he close to 2,000?
He's actually at 969 yards.
I would have thought he broke 1,000.
Well, he's 8th in the league in rushing, 8th in the league in rushing touchdowns, but he's 5th in the league in yards per carry.
Okay.
In the entire NFL. That's where he really.
That's unreal.
That's where he really. He's averaging 5.5 yards.
Zeke didn't make it?
No.
You know he's had 8 touchdowns the last 8 games.
Zeke's quietly been
really good.
Better. Yeah, better.
No, good.
Better.
He just doesn't have yards per carry, but you don't have to have that.
Well, he's unfortunately not a guy who is
fast,
breaking a lot of his bread was butter because he was breaking tackles his first few years in the league. He's lost that a little bit. He's lost a step. But
it's probably the nose ring.
Yeah, you think makes him less aerodynamic?
Makes him less manly, yeah.
I mean, he's still huge. He's massive.
Alvin Kamara, he got a nose ring. He fell off.
Alvin Kamara.
Maybe they can't breathe.
No, Alvin Kamara didn't fall off. He got put in a terrible offense with Andy Dalton quarterback.
They should bring Drew Brees, dude.
That's not his fault.
For the coach. He's at Purdue now.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, he's at Purdue.
Last running back, Miles Sanders, who actually is deserving of it. Miles Sanders has 1,100 yards on the year.
Did you see? I used to be a big Miles Sanders fan. I'm not anymore. He said he doesn't care about my fantasy team.
I did see that. I knew that.
That's not a people's running back.
I knew you would not be a fan of that.
And he said, I don't care about your ticket either.
Yeah.
So he basically said, screw your money.
I know. Dude doesn't understand the NFL is one of the most.
Yeah.
They make their money on betting.
Not a fan of him anymore.
Yeah,
fan of the Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly. Big Eagles fan. But Sanders let me down.
Sad.
Yeah, because A.J. Dillon loves fantasy. He talks about it all the time.
Yeah, well, and he had 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Last
and
week.
A concussion.
Hey, the trifecta right there. Yeah. That's old school football right there. 2 touchdowns and a concussion.
You know, he was a tight end in high school or middle school, and the coach let him like run a ball once, and he like burnt everybody until he became a running back.
He's like, oh, you can do that?
Yeah. I was listening to a story this week before the Packers game.
Yeah. That's funny.
That's pretty funny.
That is.
Is that all you got for?
Well, that's all the offensive weapons.
Defense.
Defense. I mean, just know this: Eagles have a lot of Pro Bowlers.
Sauce Gardner.
Cowboys have a lot of Pro Bowlers too.
Gardner's on AFC.
Yeah, you're taking the wrong league. Darius Slay and Trayvon Diggs both made the roster. Eagle and Cowboy. That's good.
One's good, one's bad.
Don't even. You know, Trayvon Diggs has had a really good year. To be like,
has he?
Oh, he has. But it's because he doesn't get.
Yeah,
he's not getting targeted.
He's had a good year when it comes to that.
Well, your other corners are getting burned every play.
I guess that's what makes me think
you don't have to target Diggs.
Yeah. No, he has 28 targets, no touchdowns, right, or something like that.
No, he's got a touchdown this year.
That's right. He got sitting on a mat.
That Colts game. He bit on one. He got bored.
Yeah.
But he only has 3 picks, so it's not flashy, right? He's not flashy this year.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it for the NFC. Nobody cares about other things.
AFC, kind of what we predicted. Well, what I predicted before the year, not Cameron. Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow. There's a name on this list missing. Can you guess who that is?
Oh, it's not his fault.
Who?
Don't even start. I told you. Oh, you mean Tua?
Well, no, Tua got hurt. Tua doesn't want to play in it, I bet.
Tua was the leading vote getter by the fans and still didn't make the roster. That just shows you what players and coaches.
Herbert.
Yes, Justin Herbert did not make the Pro Bowl.
And if I would have bet you $1 million this year that Herbert wouldn't make the Pro Bowl, would you say yes?
Not to $1 million. I'd have bet you 100. Yeah, for sure. I'd have bet you a crisp $100 bet.
That Herbert would have made the Pro Bowl?
Yeah, I'd have bet you a crisp 100.
Yeah.
Not his fault. What's he going to do?
Play better?
He's played just fine. I have no issues with how he's played.
Yeah. Running backs, Nick Chubb, Josh Jacobs, Derrick Henry. It's about what you expect there. Nick Chubb led the NFL in rushing pretty much halfway through the whole season.
And then Josh Jacobs took over.
Then the Raper took over. And
what? Oh, Deshaun Watson. I was like, oh, my
ruined
God.
That whole team. Ruined it. Ruined the whole team. I don't know how they won this week. That was the most boring football game. If Lamar played, there's no way they win. He's ruined that football team. Jacoby Brissett was rolling.
Oh, if Lamar played. Oh, okay, yeah, for Baltimore.
Yeah. The Browns have ruined that. Deshaun Watson has ruined that team this year. No.
I'm not going to.
He deserves
Deshaun
nothing.
Watson. Yeah, he's slowly playing a little bit better. He is.
Josh Jacobs, monster the past 9 weeks, 8 weeks. Derrick Henry, obviously, it's just Derrick Henry. He's gonna get all the votes no matter what.
Yeah, I mean, he's Derrick Henry. Well, Josh Jacobs now leads the NFL in rushing yards.
Monster this season.
He is second in attempts. So
the Raiders
is getting fed.
The Raiders are crazy. Yeah, he averages 20 carries a game.
Yeah, it's nuts. Well, he's averaging like 15 in the first half alone. It's like they've turned into a running team.
The Raiders are crazy. Well, obviously they should turn into a running team.
Well, yeah, they got Derek Carr.
The Raiders are crazy if they don't pay that man. Crazy.
Teams don't want to pay running backs.
I know they don't, but they have no one else besides Devontae Adams.
I don't take joy in saying this. They need to cut Derek Carr.
Well, yeah, that's done deal.
Get that money off the books.
They're cutting him.
Yeah.
He knows it.
So then you could pay Josh Jacobs. If Derek Carr stays on the roster, you have no money to allocate.
I've seen some rumors about Carr going to the Packers and Rodgers being traded to the Raiders.
They should have just done a Carr for Devontae swap then.
Yeah.
Wait, what's Rodgers doing in this scenario? Retiring?
No, like linking back up with Devontae in Vegas.
I would actually become an Aaron Rodgers fan if that happened.
I've seen it. happen. I've seen tweets happen and stuff.
Yeah, but I've also seen tweets about Tom Brady going back to New England.
He is. Have you seen Mac Jones?
No, but I've seen
Tom
Brady.
Have you seen Belichick? Belichick looks like he wants to murder that place.
I've seen Tom Brady play football in the past few weeks.
Do you think Belichick feels like people are going to write him off if he doesn't be successful without Brady? Brady made him?
That's the other part of it. Like, as a coach,
do you think that's in his head?
I don't know that he thinks like that.
He hasn't been successful since.
I can't imagine.
He drafts awful.
Like that.
Does he still draft from his dad's old recruiting book?
No.
His dad was a great scout.
he has
But
had some
he
questionable.
might need to dust that off and find some notes. Or
Whatever I will say, whatever his wide receiver scouting like process is, need to completely throw it in the trash. They can't draft a receiver. Although Jacoby Myers is good, except
they can't draft anybody.
Except
Cameron.
for
Stevenson was a lucky charm,
and he was even what round was he? Gosh, he was a. Was he? He was not. He might have been undrafted. Ramondre.
I don't know.
I couldn't tell you either. Yeah. Well, because they did get Damian Harris, who
they don't even feed.
Exactly. Because Ramondre is better. That's why
Ramondre's a beast.
It goes back to you can find any old running back anywhere.
Yeah. But I don't. It has to be in Belichick's mind.
Maybe. I think he's old enough to like. There was a 10-year period. That might be too long. Where most people considered him the best coach in the NFL.
Well, because he had Bledsoe and Tom Brady. Did he coach Bledsoe?
Yeah.
Or was that Bill?
Yeah, no Bledsoe.
Not Bill. Not Bill.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bill. Parcells.
Was not.
He was a Bills.
Belichick had Bledsoe.
Yeah, so
that was
exactly 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks.
2000. No, stop it. Bledsoe's not a Hall of Fame quarterback. Don't
What?
do that.
He would have been if he didn't get hurt.
Oh, well, maybe. And then he went to the
Bledsoe was a
Cowboys
monster
to die. He was not a Hall of Fame quarterback.
He was a
very good quarterback.
But then we would have never had Tom Brady. You know how wild that'd be? Tom Brady would have maybe never even got his chance.
See, I don't buy into that. Because
Bledsoe was at the top of his game.
I know, but I'm saying that's like saying I guess you can't compare it in other sports because
you can't. Quarterbacks stay for a long
but
time.
it's like when you're as good as Tom Brady is, you are always going to be good. It's not like you were ever going to be buried behind somebody else.
Yeah.
You know? That's where I have an issue with that argument is the guy who's considered the greatest quarterback of all time, you're telling me would not have would just never have gotten a chance.
Who
Drew
knows?
Bledsoe was getting up in age there for
No,
a
he
while.
wasn't.
He was in his
not
30s.
when he got hurt.
He was in his 30s.
Brady's 45, Cameron.
Yeah, stop. It's not the same
And
NFL.
he played two more seasons with the Cowboys after that?
Yeah,
2 or 3?
He was with the Cowboys
So Brady,
for 3-4 years.
Brady could have easily been released.
But he wasn't good
like,
with the Cowboys.
You don't know. Like,
he wasn't good with the Cowboys, though.
It's because the Cowboys weren't good.
We were terrible at that time, yeah.
Yeah. They had Quincy Carter.
Well, that was post Quincy Carter.
Yeah.
Right.
Vinny Testaverde.
Oh, I miss Vinny Testaverde.
Yeah.
You're unlocking some memories.
But yeah, so fullback, Patrick Ricard.
Yeah, stop.
How did Jusic not get that? Oh, he's NFC. My bad.
NFC.
Wide receivers, no shock here. Tyreek Hill, Stephon Diggs, Jamar Chase, Devontae Adams. Like, there's no other receivers I would put ahead of them in the AFC.
Hold on, let me look at the AFC roster. Yeah, Baltimore now above them.
No, there's nothing.
Cleveland. Amari Cooper had a really good year.
Maybe Pittman.
I mean, not over any of the
That's what I mean,
four.
over them.
Correct. But, to give some...
Waddle.
Amari Cooper, yes. Jalen Waddle. Amari Cooper's had a good year.
Which they have to have more than 4 receivers on the team. They have backups, right? How does that work?
No. Like, they only select 4. Like, the tight end. They have 2 tight ends.
Yeah.
You're never in a 5 wide receiver set.
Yeah, I guess.
It's always a tight end. Travis Kelce and Mark Andrews are going to be out there,
You're right. You're right.
But, the other bad thing about the Pro Bowl is
it's boring.
One of these guys will be in the Super Bowl. Obviously not Devontae Adams.
Yeah, so probably Tua.
So somebody will hop in. 1 or 2 will say, I'm not playing due to injury. But I wonder if it changes now because there's no game. Now it's just a skills competition. I wonder if guys...
It'll definitely change.
Yeah, like you think guys will show up and not just...
no doubt.
Not fake an injury, but have a real injury.
No, they'll show up now. Yeah, no, you're right about that.
Because a lot of guys wait till the end of the year to have their surgeries or start their rehabs and stuff. I wonder if because the Pro Bowl is 3 weeks after the season.
Mm-hmm.
That's a long time for guys to wait on torn shoulders or torn, partial tears in certain body parts, right? You don't want to go out there for that. So maybe a few guys will still stay, but
I think they'll get more of an outing.
I hope so. Hopefully the skills competition's better.
I'm just going to finish with tight ends. That's all we really need to know. Travis Kelce, Mark Andrews.
Pretty much just, honestly, Travis Kelce is the only deserving Pro Bowl tight end in the league.
Yeah, I would have said Mark Andrews was at the beginning of the season, but definitely not anymore.
Well, and it's also not
all his fault. He got hurt, and then Lamar got hurt as soon as he came back, and they lost Bateman.
Yeah, that has been a struggle.
I still
Speaking of Baltimore, I just have a little side note. I'm really happy with how J.K. Dobbins. I'm shocked that he's come back. In 2 games, he's put up over 100 yards.
Yeah.
Playing only like 35% of snaps in each game.
I'm
still J.K. Dobbins.
I'm still very confused about the whole Hollywood Brown trade.
They didn't want to pay him. They knew they had Lamar. He
has no receivers.
Why am I forgetting the left tackle?
Bateman's a deep ball threat. Like, that's all he is. 50-50 deep ball threat. They have those, like... They have no depth at receiver.
I can't remember. Orlando Brown is their tackle who they paid, and then Lamar is a free agent.
Oh, I know.
So you have his money coming up.
It just blows my mind.
It is. I think. Well, I do believe it.
Let's go Avalanche.
Honestly, like Rashad Bateman had a lot to do with it, and then he goes down with injury. He's out for the season.
But still. Would you plan your team around Bateman as your...
No. It's the fact that you have a...
Because you have a Mike Evans, you have a Godwin. They don't have a Godwin.
True. And the Ravens are just... because
Hollywood would have been that Godwin.
The Ravens are different. Most teams need 2, and then now in today's NFL, 3 starting receivers. Baltimore, their offense, they just don't play that way. Baltimore plays... They love their 2 tight end sets. They love their 2 running back sets. They do not need 3-4 wide receivers on the field at the same time. That's just not how they do it. That's Greg.
That might be why they don't win, Cameron.
Right. And so but that's what I'm saying. They get rid of Hollywood Brown because they trust Rashad Bateman to be better than him now on a rookie deal. So why would we pay Marquise Brown?
Because he's a baller.
Plus, the dude had the worst drops I've ever seen sometimes, and I know that pissed Harbaugh off. I know it did. He would just drop wide open balls, and it's like, what are you doing, dude?
Speaking of Harbaugh, when's all the blame start going to him and not Lamar?
Well, Harbaugh's not their offensive coach. Harbaugh's never been credited as an offensive guru. He's not an offensive genius.
I'm just saying.
Their defense is still really
good.
They're
the most... I'm just going to put it out there. They're definitely the most overrated team in the NFL every year. They're not good, Cameron. Have you watched them play football, even with Lamar?
Well, it's because Lamar's not playing well this year. I think, and there is a huge consensus.
Do they re-sign him?
They franchise tag him. They're not going to sign him. They need another prove-it year from him. This was supposed to be his prove-it year.
What's the record?
They're still 9-5.
Yeah.
I want to say. Let me double-check that real quick. Baltimore is 9-5. So, and they've lost... And they lost, so they were 9-4 coming into this week. Obviously, why am I blanking? What's the quarterback's name?
Huntley?
Tyler Huntley has not played well at all. So you can't really dog him for Lamar getting hurt. And he got hurt not scrambling. He got hurt trying to evade a sack.
I know.
So that's the other
funny
thing.
And then you have Huntley out there running like a fullback.
Yeah, and it's just, what are you going to... They don't have the personnel to be a passing offense.
No. You're right.
And that does not fall on the head coach. Right. But there is a lot of people wanting the offensive coordinator fired. Greg Roman, He's been there for a while. He created this scheme around Lamar Jackson. And it worked phenomenally for his first, 3-4 years in the league.
Yeah.
But last couple years, are just teams maybe are catching up to it.
Mm-hmm.
They need to get receivers. Bateman's got to get healthy.
All right. Is that enough about the Pro Bowl? We good?
Oh,
we good about the Pro Bowl?
For sure.
All right. So I was going on Twitter today, and I don't know. I don't want to talk about much about our competition, but the Kelsey brothers. Have you listened to their podcast?
I love their show.
Yeah, it's amazing. They're our competition, but great show.
They're a great pair. Obviously, they're brothers.
Yeah. So I want to play this clip that they posted. It's about 45 seconds long, but it's pretty funny.
Okay.
No idea what was going on.
You guys tried a lateral play to end the game going into overtime, and Jacoby Myers throwing it backwards. I mean, how far back? He threw it like 20 yards backwards to the slowest guy in the field.
That's behind everyone.
Who's the worst person that can have the ball right now? Mac Jones. Okay, where's he at? He's 30 yards behind everybody.
I could only imagine the situation Mac is in. He looked like he had no idea what was going on.
What do you think Chandler Jones is thinking? He's like, Could you imagine being Chandler Jones?
Is that the ball?
Why?
Why is it coming? And then he catches it, and Mac Jones is just one-on-one with Kevin Garnett,
Posterized.
and he's stuck under the rim, just absolutely stiffied.
Mac, I know we're not a defensive player. We got to put up a better effort than that. But
I'm the worst tackler ever, man.
it looked like he tried to take a charge. Like he thought he was playing basketball.
He tried to get a rough.
Maybe I got to roughing the passer.
Oh man. When I saw that, I had to play it on the show.
Hilarious.
He looked like he was taking a charge.
What? Real quick.
Oh, my
If you ever
gosh.
heard Travis Kelce, well, you're not seeing him. Sounds a lot like JJ
Well,
Redick.
if you see his
That's a side
face,
note.
he is blitzed.
Oh, I would imagine.
Like his eyes are shut.
Yeah, but dude, that has to be. I mean, honestly, like that, like has to go down as, and I feel bad for Jacoby Myers.
Ooh,
but that
that's
has to go
because
down. As,
I played this only
the
because this is our next segment. We're talking about this Patriots Raiders game, but I had to start it off with that.
it has to be the dumbest play I've ever seen in my life.
What do you think Bill was thinking? Like, what was when he saw that ball fly in the air? What do you
See,
think?
I don't want to put all the blame on Jacoby Myers because
Well, first off,
Stevenson lateraled it to him first.
I'll give Jacoby Stevenson. I don't understand that play at all.
What are you doing?
But
It's 0 seconds left.
I will give Jacoby Myers the benefit of the doubt. He owned it after the game. Like, hey, tried to do too much.
Yeah,
could
he
have
said he
made an
tried to be-
excuse.
he tried
Could
to be a hero.
but
But yeah, no, he said it perfectly. Chandler
Tried to do too
Jones saying,
much.
"Oh, is that the ball coming
yeah.
my way?"
So, what do you think was going through Belichick's head when he? Well, I'm sure when Stevenson flipped it, he's like, "Oh crap, don't do that." And he's like, "Okay, well, I'm able to tackle it." And then he just saw Jacoby Myers throw the ball 30 yards across the field to Mac Jones.
you just gotta wonder.
Do you think he just was speechless?
Yeah, you just gotta wonder the thought process. Like, okay, you
Who
turned around.
tries that
You turned around.
and saw your
You
quarterback?
saw Mac Jones. Not only your quarterback. Like, hey, if it's Lamar
Where's-
Jackson, it's okay.
Where's he gonna run?
He's got Chandler Jones right in front of him.
He has no speed.
And-
Even if he had a wide open field.
And then Chandler Jones gets the ball. Mac Jones gets in a squat. He looks like he's about to start freaking. He's got a squat rack on his shoulders. He's taking a dip to squat. And he just gets stiff armed into the
Dude.
dirt.
That is number one reason.
So hard.
This shows you that quarterbacks need to be in hitting drills in Pee Wee football.
Dude, that's so bad. Like, I mean, what is he supposed to do against? Like, at least grab a leg and just hold on. If you get dragged
Grab
for
a
10,
jersey.
if you get dragged for 10 yards, that's less embarrassing than what happened. That's bad.
But I don't know what's more embarrassing: Jacoby Myers throwing it or Mac Jones's tackle. You know,
I would say
Raiders.
Mac Jones.
You know, anyone who bet on the Raiders,
Pissed.
no, they won.
I mean, sorry, other way around. Yeah. Well, I was gonna say anybody who bet on the Patriots is pissed because the game tying touchdown, he was out of bounds.
Oh yeah.
He was out of bounds, so they should have won off that. First off,
Well, it goes back to our rigged theory.
maybe
The whole
they
weekend was
literally
rigged.
they literally see the replay and his toe is touching the white. He's out of bounds.
Yeah.
I don't know what we're doing. And then all you gotta do is just play for overtime.
But yeah, I had to play that. That's kind of what I had for the end of our show is a Patriots Raiders game.
Well, I was gonna say, like, the worst part about it is they're like from all the models of playoff percentage, like projections, they plummeted because of that loss. Like they lost like 30-40% playoff odds because of that game.
Yep.
On one lateral, like potentially cost them the playoffs. If they win that game, they're 8-6.
Yep.
We're
in a
I think they're in the 5 seed if they win.
in a very competitive AFC battle.
Yes, AFC's a dogfight right now, so every game matters. And instead, you're 7-7. You have to face. Let's see, I'm really bad at this. Okay, you have to face Cincinnati, Miami, Buffalo. 3 losses.
Yeah.
Their season's done. Like it was going to be tough for them to make it anyway. But gosh, you needed to win that game.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
That was what makes it worse. It makes me feel so much more bad for Jacoby Myers. To piggyback off of that, did you see the Giovanni Bernard press conference? So, in the Bucks,
Oh yes,
the Bucks Bengals game.
He fumbled, And
The fake punt.
the broadcasters or whatever the media was asking
reporters.
him, like he said, y'all never talked to me before. And they said,
Yeah, and
you've
they're
never done anything.
That has to be the wildest thing I've ever heard.
They
A
said, you've
reporter
never
saying,
done anything for us
they
to
said,
report.
well, you haven't done anything this year. And his face, Giovanni Bernard was
He was pissed.
stunned.
Yeah.
He was stunned. He's like,
Did that just
"Did
come
you
out of your
just-"
mouth?
He's like, did you just say that? I was stunned when I first heard it. He was like,
Dallas scored again.
he's like, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. I saw that. Yeah.
Just crazy.
He said press conference. I thought he maybe like him sitting at the table.
sorry. Yeah, not.
I guess
press
it's
coverage,
considered
just-
press conference.
no,
article.
post game. It's just post game
interview.
Interview.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
That was
So
crazy.
the last thing I wanted to end our show with today is, can you look up the 2021 quarterbacks draft, please? We're gonna redraft the 2021 quarterbacks. I'll list them as you find it. So we have Trevor Lawrence.
Oh, this
Zach
this
Wilson.
last draft.
No, 2021. Yeah.
Yeah.
Two drafts ago.
Oh, duh. Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, Davis Mills, Mac Jones, and Justin Fields. So I need you to tell me where they were drafted, and then we're going to redraft them.
Okay.
Just who was drafted
so,
ahead of each other. That's what.
So yeah, the top 5 quarterbacks go Trevor Lawrence, number 1 overall.
Uh-huh.
Zach Wilson, number 2 overall. Justin Fields, number 3 overall. Trey Lance, number 10 overall. And then Mac Jones, number 14 overall.
Well, Davis Mills. He was 6.
And then, no, Davis Mills was
Well, I mean, like, was he the 6th quarterback out of those?
Yes, he would have
There's
been
6 QBs on this list.
yeah, so he was a 3rd round pick. I
So
wanna
Trevor
say.
was first, Zach 2,
Yep.
Fields 3,
Yes.
Lance 4,
Lance 10.
Well,
but
in
4th,
order.
Yeah.
Lance 4, Mac 5,
Jones,
Davis 6.
Mills, yes.
Okay. So you go ahead and redraft him, and then I'll redraft him.
Okay.
Don't tell me the rounds or anything. Just order of them drafted.
Yeah. 6, I'm gonna keep Davis Mills.
Okay.
He had a decent end to his rookie season. He really hasn't shown.
I think he looks good.
he hasn't shown me anything.
Well, he's also with the Houston Texans.
Right. I get it, but whenever he's been playing, he hasn't shown me anything.
Yeah.
I'm not.
I hate this point that you're about to say because we.
No. Because I'm not going to. I may still be projecting this, but I'm keeping Mac Jones at 5.
Okay.
Mac Jones.
I can ride that
He
wave.
just does not do it. Number one, I told you I'm trying to turn.
Let's
a
be
new
honest.
leaf.
After that tackle, he doesn't deserve to be a football
I'm
player.
trying to only talk good about players, but I hate Mac Jones. I really do. His face, I just want to punch it. He always makes he looks like a little kid when
is a little
his
kid.
ball gets taken away. His temper he just pisses me off.
Well, you learned from
Like
Brady.
Mac
He
Jones-
learned that from Brady.
Yeah, the greatest of all time. Mac Jones, you're nobody. You don't yell at your two
The only
offensive
people,
coordinators
the only
to F
people
off.
in the NFL who can yell at their players are Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady.
Exactly. And then maybe Patrick Mahomes, but
Not yet.
his voice, I don't know that it would translate well
Yeah.
with him yelling. So I'm keeping Mac Jones at 5.
Okay.
4, I hate to do it. I'm dropping Zach Wilson from 2 all the way to 4.
Okay. So we're on the same level there. So no reason to go through mine.
Gosh, this
On
year,
that one.
yeah, he's just.
Yeah. I get it.
I
You know what's funny? Sorry to bust
no,
you,
you're fine.
bust you up here. So did you see that he bought all his O-line scooters or whatever? He bought them
This
scooters. Yeah, for Christmas.
Oh well, he's got the most money.
What's
in the
funny is
quarterback
Josh Allen did the same thing, but he got their custom with their
Like
number on
nicer.
it.
Yeah, a little bit
So
nicer.
it's like, someone's always stunting on Zach Wilson.
guy.
Like, he did it out of the goodness of his heart.
Yeah.
And then Josh Allen does the same thing.
yeah, I will give him a lot of credit. They didn't win the game against Detroit.
He looked good.
He played well, and I thought he was It's gonna be a tongue twister. I thought he was in an impossible situation where you get benched for Mike White.
Bench.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
benched. That's it, benched for Mike White. Mike White comes out playing phenomenally, and everybody in the locker room comes out and says, "Oh, I love," everybody's saying how much they love Mike White. The receivers are like, "Oh, it's fantastic."
No, they all love Mike White.
So you have that going against you, and then Mike White gets hurt, and you got to go back. I feel like he was put in an impossible situation, and he could have had any excuse to go out there and have a dud, like an absolute stinker. And he played really well. He had over 300 yards, a couple touchdowns. He did have a bad pick, really bad pick. But apart from that, I think he played well, and it showed me that, hey, maybe he can bounce back from adversity a little bit. Maybe he just needed a little adversity.
Maybe.
Came back, played well.
So, yeah.
And Detroit's defense has been playing phenomenal lately, too. So to do it against that defense, again, a little tip of the cap to Zach Wilson.
I give you that.
Yeah. So, but to drop from 2 to 4 after only a season in 3 quarters, that's tough. That is very tough.
Yeah.
3, I'm going to put Trey Lance, and that has more to do with we just haven't seen anything from him.
Yeah.
I really don't want to put him any higher than that because I feel like that would be crazy. And I don't want to put him any lower because from what I've seen, he still showed to be better than the guys we've listed so far. But his rookie year, he doesn't play, but sparingly. His sophomore year, he's they put all the faith in him, and he's the guy now. Yeah. He didn't necessarily light it up like I expected him to or like people thought he would. He was okay for the first few weeks, and he gets injured early.
Yeah.
Not real, not much you can do. I bump him up from 4 to 3, but it's still, he's still one of the bigger mysteries of the class.
Who's your number 2?
Number 2, I'm going Justin Fields.
Really?
Yeah. And I had him, funny enough, I did have him number 2 quarterback going into the draft class. His passing still leaves some to be desired. His decision-making leaves to be desired in terms of throwing. Mm-hmm. In any other situation, I would say he bails out too quickly and doesn't go through his progressions and runs too quickly. But when he runs, it's magic.
When he runs, he runs.
So I can't knock him for it. It's actually a plus. And they don't have the best offensive line in the league, so he's under duress.
I kind of trolled him on Twitter this week too.
Oh, that's not nice.
Well, I didn't tweet at him, just like highlights. I said it's a great value, Jalen Hurts.
I may or may not have said that on the show before.
Jalen Hurts is a very good quarterback, so being an off-brand version of him is a compliment.
If he's a better runner than Jalen Hurts, I don't think that's debatable.
No, he is, but Jalen Hurts has a cannon for an arm.
Fields has a stronger arm than Jalen Hurts does. But Jalen Hurts, to his credit, like I said,
I love it.
To his credit, has been very accurate this year. Jalen Hurts' deep balls. Now, when you're throwing up to A.J. Brown, it makes it a little bit easier. But he's been pinpoint on his deep balls to both A.J. Brown and Devontae. So in terms of accuracy, it's not even close. But if Justin Fields can add that to his game, he can, with the running that he's been doing, if they can get some weapons around him, get a better offensive line, they're in a full rebuild. It's going to take some time. He's not going to be a top 10 quarterback, I don't think, in the next 2 years, just because the team is not going to be that great around him for the next few years.
Yeah.
But you get him some I still have high hopes for Justin Fields. Like I said, his running has been insane and absolutely insane. Some of the runs he breaks off. And then but because of how I can't put him any higher than 2.
Yep, then Lawrence 1. That's literally this might be history on the show.
First time we agree.
That's literally spot on for what I would say.
I also think this is a lot easier than maybe people think at first glance. When you sit down and think about it for
some people are high on Mac Jones, dude.
And I don't get why.
Some people are high.
Yeah, it's because he's a white pocket passer. If we're just being honest here, he's a pocket passer. He's a prototypical Tom Brady.
What's a white pocket passer?
Tom Brady.
You can get the show canceled.
He's Tom Brady. No, stop it. I can say that. I'm white.
Anyways.
That's why people are high on him. They shouldn't be. He's not good.
Yeah.
So now me saying that, he's probably going to go off next week.
But that's all I got.
Trevor Lawrence,
jerseys are sick. Those sweaters.
Oh, for the Vegas, they have the gold helmets, yeah. But Trevor Lawrence, he's miles above the field. It's not even close. Especially the last 5 weeks, he's thrown 14 touchdowns, 1 pick.
14 tutties, baby.
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence.
He's a monster against Dallas.
You see what happens whenever you get a competent head coach in there?
And Christian Kirk.
And Christian Kirk's been nice for him. Zay Jones has been good. Marvin Jones has been good. Evan Ingram.
I'm going to have to give me one of those
What's
jerseys.
funny is
that's filthy.
Evan Ingram has been awful his whole career in New York. I say awful. He's underperformed. Get him down to Jacksonville.
Well, he was the Kyle. If you remember correctly, he was the Kyle Pitts in that draft, and then had all this hope, and then
Yes.
hasn't panned out.
I like the compare, like in terms of he was the number one tight end.
He was the Kyle Pitts.
Yeah.
And has done nothing with his career.
Except for this year, because he got a good quarterback. He had Eli Manning and Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? Those are two bad quarterbacks.
Because he was a hot.
Yeah, I was high on him. Very high on Evan Ingram.
Yeah.
And then now he's actually playing well. Next year, Trevor Lawrence is going to get our guy back, Calvin Ridley. He'll
Free
be back
Ridley,
next year.
baby.
Yes,
Get
sir.
you a T-shirt. They're still available.
I guess there's no point in freeing him.
And now it's in Falcons colors, but
it's all at the end of the year. But yeah, so you get Ridley back. Trevor Lawrence, the sky's the limit for that guy. He earlier in the year, I was talking about how for some reason he wasn't making those sidelines. Now he's making throws. He'll put the ball anywhere. He has played phenomenal lately, and I love to see it.
I wish he would cut his hair. It's the only thing I would want.
I mean, he's literally looked like that since his freshman year in college.
But it's time he just looks like a kid still.
Well, he is a kid.
I'm just saying.
He's like 23.
He needs to cut the hair.
He is 23. Yeah, he's 23 years old. Do you know he's 9th in the league in passing yards this season? He's 5th in the league in passing touchdowns this year. Trevor Lawrence. 5th in the league in passing touchdowns.
Tua.
No, he's not.
Pretty sure.
I was going to say, can I look it up real quick?
I have it right here.
I'm not logged in, so I can't.
I have it right here. He's first in pass touchdowns, first in passing rating, first in passing touchdowns versus interceptions. Oh, passing touchdowns per attempt.
Well, yeah, because he missed like 3 weeks.
Yeah, so he's first in all of that.
Which I don't know how, even after that.
He's first in yards per attempt.
Even after that abysmal Chargers game he had.
Yeah, but that's all I got for the show today. Yeah, we've covered a lot. I feel like we had a lot of good content for the fans.
Yeah, I thought you wanted to talk about Justin Herbert.
No, we'll leave that to the next one. Next show.
Hey, shout the Chargers, I will say, great win against the Titans. The
Packers won, baby, too.
Now, so we talked about who would win the division a couple weeks ago. I forget who we said about the AFC South, but Jacksonville's winning that division now. They're only a game back of Tennessee with 3 games to play, and they play each other week 18. That game is going to be for the division title.
Who?
Jacksonville and Tennessee.
Oh, yes. And so is that's how my Madden season is, too.
What?
I play for the Texans. I got to play Jacksonville week 18 for division title.
Why'd you play for the Texans?
Well, I always pick a team I don't like, so then I can relocate them.
Yeah, get the heck out of Houston.
I'm probably going to relocate them to Austin.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, so.
Nobody likes Houston. Houston's a dump.
Yeah.
Sorry if you're listening from Houston.
Matt.
Yeah, he knows, though. He knows. Houston's a dump.
But, yeah. This
About it. That's all I got.
Go Pack Go. We're going to make the playoffs.
Chargers. Proud of you, Chargers. You're going to
See
make
the Cowboys lose, and he's back to being a Chargers fan.
No, I'm just saying. Justin Herbert deserves his credit. And I'm the only one.
He's not a good fantasy quarterback.
I'm the one out there. I don't care.
Well, can you finally admit that?
This year, he was like third. He was literally the number 2 in the same league that you had him in. I had him last year.
I know, that's why I drafted him.
He was the number 2 overall quarterback.
I know. League. That's why I drafted him. I have him and Hurts. I should never lose a game.
Hey, he had a bad. It's not his fault. He's missing. He literally was missing his top 2 receivers for
not this week.
9 weeks. It's not his fault. He still had 300 yards.
All right, whatever.
300 yards.
Thank you for tuning in.
He doesn't get the touchdowns because they always run it at the goal line. That pisses me off.
I highly
throw it.
I highly appreciate all y'all. If you need anything, call us, text us, message us.
You don't have no voicemails?
Find us on Twitter. We have no voicemails today, but we always appreciate y'all. And we are out of here. Told Cameron I was gonna get some outro music.
With a broken ear.
Outro music.
You maybe need to turn it down before we play it next time.
Later.
Peace. God, that's so loud every time.